Hi guys, so I'm just throwing this intro together real quickly on my phone here. So this is a video from late January 2019. I'm basically out on a hunting mission, and the main reason of this mission was to get out hunting because I hadn't been out in a long time, get some meat, get the dog out, and also test out a whole heap of new camera equipment that I've got. Well, not a whole heap, basically one new setup, and I sold my own old drone and got a new one. So it was just get out there, shake the dust off, blow the cobwebs out, try a bit of new gear, and just get comfortable with all of my systems again for the coming winter. And I shot a deer, and it was a bloody hot day. I shot it this morning, so when you're watching this video, this deer was shot that morning, and it was getting fly blowing. I didn't have a Stony Creek meat safe or any fly bag or anything like that. But my whole plan for this trip, for meat wise, was to try out this new idea that I found on Google, and for storing meat, keeping it clean, and keeping it bloody cold in the summer too. And it worked really, really well. And I just filmed it all, sort of testing out this new microphone, and I wanted to see how, if I just filmed a whole bunch of different stuff, how would the sound be in different situations when I'm further away and stuff like that, and how would this new camera work. And I thought I'd throw it together and throw it up, because it can either sit on my hard drives doing nothing, or I can throw it up and a few people might use it. I just got out of bed and made a coffee and sat down, and thought I'd throw this together, this little intro on it, so you know what it's all about, and you can check it out. Some people might find some stuff out of this useful, and you might be able to use it yourself. So there's no hunting in this video, it's all butchery, but it's a bit bushcrafty, and showing you how to keep meat clean and cold in the summer. Cheers guys, see you later. Right, I'm going to take all the good cuts out of this. I'm going to take the eye fillets, the hindquarters and the back steaks. So the way I'm taking this off is exposing all new meat. Notice I'm skinning it on the carcass. I'm peeling any of this exposed silver skin off. Then I'm coming in. I'm going to take this hindquarter straight off the H-bone. So anything, I'm not even taking anything the flies have touched. Man, he's in good nick. Got a nice bit of fat on his back there. So that is just perfect clean meat. Don't even want the flies to land on it. Right, so I'll just take the hock off this leg. Without stuffing anything up and flicking dirt on anything, or flicking leaves or hair, or now I'll hang that up. And bone it out. Straight into this bag, which is another perfectly clean rubbish bag. The heat's actually come out of it really good. It's just a little bit warm right in there on the bone. Just trim that silver skin off, which was on my opening. Now that whole hindquarter hasn't got it's got two pieces of hair there, like two single strands, a couple of grains of dirt around the knuckle, like I'm talking 1 or 2 single grains, where I took that hock off. See this whole hindquarter? This meat is just prime, nice layer of fat. So all of that, basically not got a single grain of dirt on it, or a single strand of hair. There's like a tiny little bit, a couple of grains of dirt there. But my point is, it's very, very clean. Look at the fat on that. It's going to be some prime eating. So all of this meat is very, very clean. Now, Flight, here Flight, that'll do, come here. So all of this meat is very, very clean and basically hasn't even had a fly land on it. I'm going to take it off the bone. Keeping to all the proper cuts. Just leave a bit of shank meat on there so my tendon doesn't let go. Fly can have a chew on that while I do the other one. Yes, yeah, she's a little bit warm in against the bone. And this meat would have been fine, it would have been completely fine to come back and do it later on, but I just felt like, if anything, I was just procrastinating a little bit. And if anything, doing it now, it's done. The meat would have been fine doing it tonight. If anything, it would just taste a tiny bit better, a tiny bit more mild and cleaner by doing it now and getting that heat out of it ASAP. Getting that heat out, man, is for a nice mild meat without that strong gamey flavour, is a biggie for me. So there's that whole hindquarter, clean boned, all the muscles are still in one piece, all my cuts are good, it's all joined together. That can go in the bag. Beauty, mate, bloody beauty. Here you go, Fly, good girl, good girl. And I'll just repeat the same thing with the other one and the back steaks. Right, so that's all boned out, perfectly clean meat. I'm pushing all the air out of this. Just going to roll that up. tie this in a loose knot that I can get undone later. Double bag it. Same thing. It's actually going to do like almost like a single shoelace knot that I can easily just pull undone later. Can go on the pack. So here's the basic idea, is submerging that wrapped meat in water. I was googling meat bags, or you know, like the Stony Creek meat bag. It's like a mesh with a roof on it, trying to work out what weight it was, and I ended up on some forums looking at reviews and stuff, and I kept coming up with that when people were talking about keeping meat. People kept talking about bagging it up, sealing it up properly and submerging it in water, which makes a lot of sense. And a lot of hunters are probably saying, oh, I didn't even know that trick, you know. And I've heard of putting it in water. I know a lot of people that do it, some really good experienced hunters that just put it in water not bagged up. And I've done that and I didn't really like it. And I've seen a few problems with it, with eels getting it. I've seen eels bloody eat a hell of a lot of meat in rivers. In big rivers, you know. I don't like putting meat in water because I think it introduces a lot of bacteria to meat, you know, like this sort of water, even river water, and once it's been wet, it goes off real quick in my experience. So it's maybe fine for storing it in water and then taking it out straight out with you and cleaning it up. And I like keeping my meat very clean too. So just the whole thing of submerging meat straight in water. Tried it, never really liked it, but I don't mind this idea of it bagged up because that's bloody cold in there. It is really cold. My hand's getting sore just spending that amount of time in it. So you've seen my meat go in here. And it was all very clean. Now what I want to do, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if a tiny bit of water makes its way into these bags just through small puncture holes. I wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't either. I wouldn't be surprised if water doesn't make it in, double bag. So I'm just going to submerge that like that, and my idea is to keep the top of the bag out of the water, because I feel like that's the main way, you know, that any serious amount of water could get in there. So my idea was to try and keep the top out if I can. Like that somehow, and then I need to find some heavy stuff and just set it on top of that, and then I want to reinforce the hell out of this because I don't want it blowing out or washing out and coming back and just finding a bag of meat sitting in the sun. Big rock. Getting messy already. It's alright. if I just let that run a little bit instead of trying to really dam it up. Want a bit more weight on top of that. These rocks are actually pumice, and they have a buoyant quality to them. They're just big waterlogged pumice. Set up another massive one right there, I reckon. Got the mega rock here. Yeah, that's that. Now I'm going to just fortify this dam a bit, get it nice and strong. I honestly don't reckon any of that's going anywhere. There it is. That meat fully submerged with the bag sticking right up out of the water. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if a very small amount of water gets in there, just like very slow seepage through tiny pinholes, so I don't think any dirt will get in. It'll be very interesting. And if this works, having some tougher bags or more bags, or just looking after the bags better to get this technique to work properly could be cool. Keeping meat clean and cool and away from the flies in the summer has always sort of put me off. It can be a real pain in the ass. So I hope this works. Mate, it's bloody perfect. It's like vacuum packed. There's no water in there, and it's cold. Real stoked on that, eh? How's it? So, just leaving camp, literally just taking my first step straight out of where I was camped. I got that meat out of the creek this morning and it was mint. So I'm fully stoked on that, eh? It's, 10 or 12 kilos of awesome prime meat there. And now that that's that cold, big lump of cold meat like that, that'll have a long thermal lag, meaning that big lump of meat will stay cold like that for a long time in my pack. Pack's well over 30 kilos now. It's quite a good little load. And this is straight up camera doesn't generally do much justice on how steep stuff is. I don't know what that looks like from your angle, but she's straight up. The plan today, let's just rest out of here, eh? The plan today is, shit, that's quite heavy. So yeah, I really like that trick, and as opposed to hanging meat up in a meat safe in the summer, and you know, something like your Stony Creek meat safe, a mesh bag that keeps the flies off, this keeps the flies off, but it also keeps it bloody cold. Like a little creek like that, that's a creek in the Kaimanawas. A little creek right down in a shady punga gully like that, that creek was cold. I don't know, I'd actually love to take a thermometer in, small thermometer, and work out what some of those little creeks are running at, because it's so cold. If you get your hands in there, you know, digging or doing something too long, you'll have sore hands real quick. And I did find one comment on the internet where a guy was saying he was keeping meat in creeks like that properly sealed up for up to 2 weeks. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if, I don't know, I mean 2 weeks is a long time. I think the creek would have to be really cold, but you can leave a meat bagged up properly in a cold fridge for 2 weeks. You can hang a deer in a really cold chiller for 2 weeks. So as long as that creek's cold enough and that meat's gone in very, very clean, I don't see it that it's out of the question at all either. And cleanliness is the big key when you're trying to store meat over time. The more you touch it with your dirty hands, the more dirt you get on it, the more hair you get on it, the more water you get on it. It's all introducing bacteria, and it's that bacteria that multiplies and makes your meat go off. The key is keeping it very clean in the whole butchery process, that it goes into very clean bags, and then you can keep it for a long time, as long as you keep it cold. Two big things for me with meat quality and keeping meat: to age meat so the quality gets even better. We all know fresh meat isn't good. It's chewy, it doesn't taste right. You want to age it. It needs to be real clean and real cold. And those are the two big things I'm always thinking about. And I've never been huge on meat hunting in summer, because basically most of the hunting missions I do is often walking in. I can't get a whole animal out. I'm often in there for multiple days. And so A, I need to keep the flies off in the summer. And B, I really want to get the heat out of my meat and get it cold. So for me, I'm pretty stoked on this trick. And I think a few people might use it. I know quite a few people put their meat straight into water, like I said. But I've never heard of someone doing it this way until I saw it in a comment on the internet a while ago. And I tried it and it worked really well. So that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. Hey, cheers guys, we'll see you later.